Check. What's cracking? What's popping? It's your host from the West Coast, Jenna, aka J All Day, and my favorite guest is back.
Hi. Hi guys. Hi. What up?
You're not gonna say who you are.
I mean, they better know who I am.
Well, they better know who I am. It's my fucking podcast, but I still intro myself.
Awkward moment when you should do that, but it's Will.
Wow, really?
Not the host with the most.
The
Midwest Coast.
The co-host with the least at this point right now, because someone doesn't know how to intro themselves.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know why I'm here.
This is what it is.
Y'all know why I'm here.
Welcome back, babe. I feel like I haven't had you on for so long.
Yeah, you know, I've just been out doing my own thing, Fortniting it up. That's about it.
I've yearned for your company.
Right.
So we're gonna start off with a no snack alert. Okay, so Kit Kat, how do you feel about the candy bar in general?
Alright.
Okay, so they have Kit Kat minis, ice cream bars.
Okay.
They're like probably an inch long, a little over an inch long, and they look fucking fire. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, that's all I really had to give to you for snack alerts. They're probably good as shit.
They probably are really good, though.
Anything that has to do with candy bars turning into ice cream bars is like, okay by me.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a new snack alert!
Yeah, candy bars with ice cream all together, just like, it's just amazing.
It is. It is amazing. Do you want to talk about that a little bit more, or should we move on?
Let's just take a moment to take it in.
Okay.
All right, that's moment's done.
Right.
Bam, let's get it!
Okay, cool. So, we have been asked a lot recently, well, actually forever, the whole time we've been together, how we met. I'm going to tell my story first.
Okay.
And then I think you should tell your story, how you remember it, second.
Okay.
And then we'll tell Scooter's part.
Okay.
And no one knows who Scooter is yet, but you will. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You should go first.
Okay. So, Will originally started liking my posts on Instagram. That's how you can't. This rule is you're not allowed to make any crazy fucking noises or try to deter what I feel like is my story into yours, okay?
Right.
We each get time. I'll be silent when you tell your story.
So I can suck my teeth?
No, you can't suck your teeth or huff and puff or tell me, nah, that's not true. Alright?
Hufflepuff. Alright, come on. Let's do this.
Okay. So, back what I was saying. It all started on Instagram. I thought. This is how I thought that the story went. So for like 6 months, he was kind of like in my DMs, but nothing weird. No looks either. Okay? God.
Alright.
Leave it up to a man to have a different story. So anyways.
6 months.
Well,
just keep going.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me tell my story. Okay, so it was around 6 months, give or take. He was kind of in my DM. So like, he would be like, oh yeah, like I work out too, or like, don't do this.
I didn't say her do anything.
You're making it impossible for me to tell my fucking story. It's my story.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, he was in my DMs, okay, and nothing creepy, not like, hey girl, or like heart eye emojis, or nothing corny like that, okay? I'm putting you in the best light ever, just so you know.
Okay.
Thank you. So, he was just trying to make conversation. I was kind of like giving him back like one emojis, like thumbs up or whatever. I had seen that he started like following me and liking my photos, but this was after I had interviewed 2 other Harlem Globetrotters, Zeus and Scooter. So I had interviewed them for 15 minutes for a station back home in the Bay Area. And after I had posted, a hashtag Harlem Globetrotters. So I originally thought that he was just a teammate that wasn't into me, nothing like that, just liked my photo because it was some of his teammates in there. So just simple as that. I have figured that like the players probably go through the hashtag Harlem Globetrotters and just like people's photos because they're Harlem Globetrotters. So I didn't think nothing of it. I actually didn't even look in his Instagram page because in my head I was like, you know what, he probably is like the ugly one. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know who he was, but I just knew that, like, this dude trying to get in my DMs, he's a Harlem Globetrotter, like, it's something bad has got to be about this guy. Like, he's got to be, like, 3 eyes, like, I don't fucking know, because there's some interesting teammates. And so I was like, whatever, went in my DMs, like I said, I would kind of shoot back one-worded answers. And then one day, 6 months later, he wrote something. I wrote some stupid message post on Instagram story, and it says, like, what do you do if a female looks at you and tells you, like, everything's fine or whatever, right? Something around those lines. And he wrote back, nothing's fine, like, don't leave, everything's fucked up or something like that. And I was like, you're a smart man. And then for somehow it just took off, and we were writing like paragraphs back to each other. And the next week, I think it was like 2 weeks later, something like that, he was going to be in my area. And so he was like, you know, after we talked for like a week, and it was like all day, all night, hella threads. I think I gave you my number like the second day or something after DMs, or because it was like one of those things where it's like, just text me. Like, we're DMing back and forth so fucking much. We had a lot in common. It flowed right. Everything. There's just no effort. And so he was like, I'm gonna be in your area in a couple weeks. Like, do you want to link up? And I was like, oh shit. Like, by this time I had already looked inside of his page, followed him back, and was like, damn, he's fine. Like, something bad is gonna come out of this, right? Too good to be true type of shit. We met up in San Jose, California, and went out to a club. I had a friend with me, he had a friend with him, and it was a wrap after that. Like, literally, we didn't miss a beat.
True.
And we've been together ever since. So that was how I met Will.
And that was how I met Jenna. Yeah.
Tell your story now.
My story was pretty similar. I was in a DM like crazy, but I did find her on a hashtag, and one of my teammates was like, "Yo, you should follow the girl. I mean, I think she's your type." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
And so, that one teammate was
that one teammate
that
was
I
Scooter.
interviewed.
Yeah, so the one teammate was Scooter. He was like, "Yo, like, her energy's high. It's just like, it's like I'm looking at you, or I'm talking to you, and I'm like, he just seen me inside of her when he was talking to her when they had a little the interview, which wasn't for that long. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I found her on Instagram, started following her, just instantly was like, damn, she's fine, like, she looks good instantly. So fellas, y'all know how it is. Oh man, like things like that. But I had to play it cool. So and like you said, it was a small conversations at first, but I was persistent.
Yeah.
You know, and I just kept trying, and I kept trying, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and go hard. So I was coming out to California for some type of event.
It was a Bottle Rock or something.
That was.
Oh no, that was
Bottle
after.
Rock.
That was
Yeah,
the
Bottle
second
Rock
time.
was after. The first one, I think we was doing an appearance at the amusement park.
Great America.
Yeah, we was doing an appearance at the Great American Amusement Park, and I was like, yo, you should come watch the show. She's like, I've never been to a game before.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on out to the show then. Come on out, come on watch it. Yeah, it'll be fun. Something happened, she couldn't make it, but she still made time to come down and hang out. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
I was actually hungover because I fucked up before. And I didn't tell him. I thought I was going to die that night.
So me and my teammate was like, fuck it, let's go out. We were like, fuck it, let's do it. So we ended up linking up with her and her friend. Yeah. And like you said, it was magic. We didn't miss a beat.
It was like no corniness. It was like dope.
Yeah, we definitely didn't miss a beat.
So originally, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
So originally, he had made me feel, and he never mentioned Scooter to me the entire time of this guy setting us up.
Yeah. Pretty
much. I had thought for months and months and months that how we got together was he found me based off of the interview and the hashtag.
I mean, it kind of was.
No. So then one day he goes, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, oh no, like here it is.
Yeah.
And he goes, so I didn't really find you off of the hashtag. And I wanted to be like, oh fuck. Like I was like super scared because when someone tells you that, it's like your mind just goes all these other ways. So I was like, God damn it. And then he goes, actually, Scooter was the one that set us up pretty much. He was the one that was really like adamant about me following you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no shit. And that made the story even more special to me because I don't know anybody that can talk to somebody for 15 minutes. First time he's ever met me. We didn't even get a chance to like kick it. Not a whole day, nothing like that. It was just questions I asked him, a quick like vibe, woo. He was super nice. Zeus was super nice. I was like, cool. Metropolitan Globetrotters kept it moving. And for him to see something in me that he also saw in Will.
I think it was like, I would think it was more so of a thing where Scooter was just like this vibe is crazy right here.
Yeah.
She's hella dope. She's super nice. And I know Bull be going through it. And only thing I could think about, only thing he could have thought about when he was interviewing you with your energy and everything was, shit, that's Bull right there.
But see, that to me is amazing.
Yeah, but he's been knowing me for 12 years, so he knows exactly what I like. He knows exactly my personality. So
but he doesn't know me.
My personality. Exactly.
He doesn't know me at all.
But he knew you for those 15 or 20 minutes I was doing that interview, and he was like, bam. He was like, that's it right
But
there.
I know so many people that are different people when they do interviews than they are in real life. So like, I could be this crazy fucking bitch that he wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
And he didn't know if I had a significant other. He didn't know anything because we didn't talk about that stuff. I knew about him and like his family life because I had to do my research on obviously like interviewing, but and he's a good guy. Like, you know, there's some guys out there that they'll set you up with somebody you're like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. But he's like a family guy, churchgoer, a gospel singer, like just a nice human being.
Real good.
And I could tell that just based off of what I learned about him and then his attitude. So the fact that he set us up was kind of like, I don't know, it just made me feel like, damn, like this shit actually fucking worked. And we've been together ever since. Like,
so I sent Scooter some questions though. Okay. And the questions was, what made you want to set us up? And the other question was, what was it about Jenna that made you say she's the one for me?
Okay.
All right.
And he has a voice note.
He has a voice note.
Okay.
Right? So I haven't listened to it yet. Jenna hasn't listened to it yet. Okay. But we're all going to listen to it.
Put it right up next to the mic.
Right now. Here we go.
Jenna, I think the first thing I noticed of her was her welcoming attitude. She had a high energy personality, and I said, okay, you know, it was me and Julian went on to her show to do her radio show, so it was really cool. And the more and more I kept looking at her and talking to her, I started noticing, man, this is like the girl version of my boy Bull. So I said, hold on. Good attitude, check. Hip hop, check. Tattoos, check. Keeps the shit. She got, you know, she works out. Triple check. I said, man, hold on, okay. I gotta show this girl to my man Bull. And once he saw it, hey, the rest is history. I don't know. Love doctor in the house.
And that exactly is what it was. That was literally our first time hearing the message, and it just reiterated what me and Jenna just said, and especially what I said about him knowing me, and knowing what I like and what and just
a vibe.
Yeah, just a vibe, you know.
And what's crazy is that, you know, as we grew to know each other even more, like we really are so similar, but the things that he's better at, it helps me be better at. How do I explain that?
Yeah, it's like we it's like the yin to the yang, pretty much.
Like we're the same type of person. Yeah. We're the same loyal. We have what we look for in the person is the same exact thing. Yeah. We're the same exact friend to our friends, but he's more patient than me, and I'm a little more empathetic than him. And there's certain things that it works with each other because he's taught me so much. Like with the patience thing, like literally. He's taught me more than anybody in my whole life about patience. And I just think that we reflect off each other very well.
That's true.
And when someone, because you say to somebody like, oh, we're the same person or we're so much alike, but that can also be really fucked up because we're both stubborn and we're both prideful. Yeah. So one of us kind of got the bite of the bullet, even if it might not be one of our faults. Yeah. But, you know, we're the same in that way. But we're also the same people in, you know, if we do get an argument, we also make up the same. You know what I mean? True. So we know how if I feel how I feel, I know that's how he feels.
Yeah.
I know how to either hurt you or make you feel better.
True.
Because that's how you can hurt me or make me feel better.
And that's true. That's where she picks up where I lack, and I pick up where she lacks as well.
Exactly.
It's about me being not as empathetic as I was before in the past. Is because the way that I grew up and the way that I grew through relationships was, oh, sorry, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Instead of being there,
really working through it.
Yeah, being hands on more so than anything. So yeah.
I was that type of person that like I believe in the word love, but I never believed that. We like to say it like, oh, there's a soulmate out there for people, or like when you find love, you just know, and like all those cliche, stupid things that you hear.
Yeah.
But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, like being with Will, I believe in all that shit now, and I really genuinely believe that there is somebody for everybody out there. Like for people that are like, I don't believe in marriage, I don't believe that there's one person that you can grow with, and I honestly don't see myself wanting to, like, I don't see myself growing out of you at all.
Yeah, I feel you. We're on the same page with that. And it's a difference it's a very thin line, I want to say, between love and lust.
Yeah.
As well.
Or love and hate. Like, honestly.
Yeah, love and lust is because, people think that they find, oh my gosh, I found the love of my life, and then they wonder 2 months later, well, why didn't it work?
Yeah.
Because that love was actually lust that you took for love, So you guys got to decipher which one it is.
And don't force it.
Don't force it.
I think that's the other thing too, is, so many people, they have babies with people, or they just really want that love. They want to be able to say I'm in a relationship, or that they're my soulmate or whatever. And don't get it twisted. Like, you're going to fight with people. You're always friends, family. You fight with everybody because if you're around that person enough, like, you come up with arguments, you get irritated or whatnot. So I wouldn't say that plays a part in if that's the right person for you, but you just really just know, like, I feel like I've been with him for other lifetimes, and not just this one. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the way that he lived all the way in Delaware. Like, I lived in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I would have never even known that he exists, and vice versa, if I wouldn't have interviewed those two Harlem Globetrotters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for the world to work out like that, like, to me, that's just meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you can't. I mean, you never hear that story, especially when someone like looks at someone and is like, "You guys would be good together." Like, how often does that really last?
Yeah.
And have us be like, "Wow, this shit really did work." I always tell them, I'm like, Scooter, if you ever quit playing basketball, like, you should really look into connection, love
our
connections.
Our story is kind of like Hancock, the movie with Will Smith.
Is it?
Have you seen that?
Well, I've watched it a billion times with you.
Probably have, but probably wasn't paying attention. It probably was your background away. So the story is this: his wife, from over hundreds and hundreds of years ago, lived in I want to say California, but they went out on a date one night. Something happened, and he lost all his memory. Right, so he was on the other side of the world. Yeah. So what happened was love drew them back together. Yeah. So it's just like, hey, maybe in the past lifetime we was together. Past lifetime before that we was together. Now this one, love is drawing us back together again. Yeah.
I believe it.
I think that's what it is.
So that's our story.
Hancock.
That's such a cute story, actually. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so we've been also talking about. Do you have anything else to add?
To that, no. But big shout out to Scooter, my brother, my friend, man. You got a spot at the wedding. Me and you will be singing at the wedding. So.
Whoa.
Me and Scooter will be doing a duet.
Just Scooter.
Just me and Scooter. It's my wedding.
It's our wedding.
Well, I mean, it kind of is like our wedding. Me, you, and Scooter. Because he's going to marry us.
No.
He's going to sing the songs.
I do want him to get. That's my plan. We need Scooter. We'll pay for the certification and all that, but we want him to actually marry us because we think that'd be tight. And he has like amazing voice, so we're gonna make him work. Yeah, me too. Definitely not pay him because he's a friend.
I'm gonna definitely pay him. Definitely have to pay him. We're definitely gonna sing. So yeah.
We'll talk about that later. We've been talking about advice. Remember, I was wanting people to solicit for advice that they need from myself or from you if you're on, the episode or whatnot. And we've gotten 2 people to reach out to for advice.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say their names because I wasn't sure if they wanted for me to say them or not. Yeah. They're not really all that like private, but it's about fitness. So We'll try to. I know not everybody really gives a fuck about fitness, but
They
well,
should.
yeah. I mean, you can at least learn something from me. You know what I'm saying? So you have those 2 DMs, right?
Yeah, I do have the 2 DMs.
So go ahead. Let me read. Unless you want to read it.
Oh yeah, I can read it.
Okay.
I can read the first ones.
So just don't say the name.
I definitely will not say their name. These will always remain anonymous.
And I wanted to answer. I got these
for
a
the lack
while.
thereof.
A while back, but I couldn't talk about them because they didn't have Will on it, and they're both about fitness, like I said. So I wanted him to have his input. Okay.
All right, so the first one is so I'm a mom of 2 and gained a lot of weight with my oldest, but during my second pregnancy, I was way healthy, and I ended up losing 35 pounds below pregnancy weight after giving birth. Since then, 3 months ago, I've been eating healthier, and I've lost 10 to 15 pounds.
Nice.
Now I'm ready to start adding in some workouts, but my biggest problem is losing skin on my belly area. Do you know what I can do in order to tighten up skin in that area?
So this is probably not going to be the best answer for you, but as far as I know, when skin is involved and stretched out skin, it's not always the easiest for it to go back to where it was. I know people that lose a mass amount, like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and they have extra skin. They usually have to get surgery to remove that, but I'm not sure how much extra skin you're talking about.
Exactly.
Did she say when she had her last? Like how long ago?
She didn't say when she had her last child was, but you know the skin can only stretch so far before it won't ever go back to form. So with one thing that you could do is you can up your protein in all your diets, because fish has collagen in it and elastin in it, which is a mineral that the body needs in order for it to at least start to form back to the tightness that you want. Tofu has it all in there. And there's other massages that you can do. It's supplements.
There's also collagen intake that you can get from the store. And I know if I don't know what your diet is either, but vegan. There's vegan collagen, which I'm still a little confused about because they get it from the bones. But you can definitely look up foods to help with that.
Definitely.
And then I would just say try to exercise as much as you can to tone up those areas, and hopefully that skin will just follow.
Yeah.
But I know skin is super tough to get back.
Definitely look into that protein enriched diet though. Definitely look it up. That definitely will help you out a lot. So yeah.
And then just cardio. I mean, the more you tighten up and tighten your skin up with weights and things like that too, it should help.
Definitely, definitely. It will definitely help. So.
Okay, what's the next one? Thank you for that.
The next one says, "Hey Jenna, love the new podcast. Follow you from Cube when you left because it is your personality and how
thanks.
you are."
You didn't
in
really
the last
this
episode,
part, but thanks.
Yeah, I didn't. I should have. But in the last episode, you mentioned sending you a DM on advice. Well, we like to hear, and I would love some workout advice. I'm trying to make a change and get healthier, but it's hard. But it's harder than expected because there are so many different things online, different diet trends that can contradict each other.
You okay over there?
I'm good. It's like people be messing it up.
Oh, typo. You're blaming other people.
So different diet trends that can contradict each other, and it always gets confusing and overwhelming. What sort of advice would you give a beginner like me? I'd say take it slow. If you're a beginner, you're just now starting out, I would definitely say take it slow, take your time until you start to feel like you're forming muscle and you're getting back into the routine. And with your diet, it all depends on you. Like we can't recommend a diet plan or nothing like that. You might have to go see a nutritionist for that. But starting off, I mean, you're probably a grown man. You know what not to eat.
It's actually a grown person?
Grown person, grown man, grown woman. I didn't even look at the name. But you know what not to eat, and you know what.
A lot of people don't know what not to eat, though. I mean, we assume that people know not to eat chips and candy and things like that and soda. But there are things that get under the rug, like yogurt. Don't eat yogurt. High amount of sugar in yogurt. Granola.
Okay.
Granola is a lot of calories.
I was speaking from the sense of fast food and all that shit.
Yes, but when people start to eat healthy, a lot of people don't even know what to grab off the shelves to be healthy. And unfortunately, commercials and things like that show you, eat a granola, oats and honey bars,
you're right.
eat trail mix, eat all of these other things that have a high amount of calories. Your pistachios. How many, we learned this the other day, when you be over there snacking on your pistachios that you love so much from Trader Joe's, salt and pepper if you love them, they're actually fire. a handful of those.
Yeah, it's only like 6. It's like 130 calories.
Six pistachios, 130.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone will argue, well, those are good fats. But you have to remember, are you in a forest picking your food? And that's all you're eating. You know what I mean? Our diet is different now. If you have, you want to eat a certain amount of calories a day, don't pick something that's so high in fat and high in calories, because you're going to be eating 6 pistachios as, say, you go and eat a salad with vinegar, oil and vinegar on it. You're going to be able to eat probably 5 salads as opposed to 6 pistachios. My advice.
Let me piggyback off you right there. Like with that, what you just said, that's really good advice. But some people make them salads with hella ranch.
Well, that's why I said oil and vinegar.
That's why I said you know what not to eat.
Yeah.
It goes to the sense of that. The oil and the vinegar, that's perfect for a salad, because some salads have more calories than a fucking Big Mac.
You might as well eat a burger. If you go to McDonald's and you order salad, just bypass that, because the dressing and everything in it. Just order a burger. That's literally. The same 500 calories, but at least you're getting some protein up in that bitch.
Yeah, it's about making the right decisions as well.
Yeah.
So
with the workout thing, you have to decide for yourself, and you also have to learn what works for you best. If someone was asking me, hey Jenna, I want to be vegan, how do I start being vegan? I'm the type of person that I'm going to have to go cold turkey. I'm all in or all out. It's very hard for me not to have a plan.
And it is tough going cold turkey vegan.
It's very tough. But for me, it's just what I got to do, because I have like a reset in my head. So I'm like, okay, I haven't had any meat for so many days. I haven't had anything, animal related. Other people, they can just start out slow, but I'm just weird like that. So if you want to get on, say, the vegan diet, I always tell people to take one thing out of their diet per week.
Nice.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
If you drink a lot of soda, start taking that off or cut it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't make it so you fail.
True.
Because that's what everyone wants to do, right? You go on a diet, you're like, I don't want to eat no junk food, so you throw everything away, and then you deprive yourself, and then when you get the chance to eat it, you just go fucking buck wild.
You completely, you sin. It's a gluttony.
Yes. You binge. I mean, that's really what it is.
Definitely do.
And so, like, just make it easy for yourself.
Yeah.
Stop eating, like, if it's you have milk or meat or whatever, like, take one of those out. If you really like cheese, leave that in, take meat off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Get uncomfortable. No, that's my slogan.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You gotta get
Actually, let's talk about that real quick.
What, getting uncomfortable?
Get your website and your new clothes and all this dope.
Well, this
stuff
definitely can transfer over to what we were just talking about with the whole diet thing. That's one thing that you got to get uncomfortable with, is stop being so stuck in your ways if you want change, because a lot of people are comfortable with the things that they're doing, and whenever they want change, they're scared to get uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, working out sucks, especially
working out does suck, but
especially if
you're
heavy.
To get uncomfortable.
It's
plain
rough.
and simple. It definitely is. It's plain and simple. It's not you got to go in there and go balls all. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go in there and go balls to the wall hard. You go in there and take your time, and that's a step towards getting uncomfortable to making a better situation for yourself and for your life. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And with my website, it's boybodyproject.com. Just launched a lot of gear up there as well, because I want people to get uncomfortable. That's one of the main reasons why I feel like I'm 35 years old and I'm still in good shape, because there's times where I am hella comfortable in there laying on the couch, or I've always just been like sitting down and doing something, but I have to get up and I got to go out and I got to do something. I broke my foot 2-3 times, had a concussion and all this stuff due to basketball, out right now with a torn meniscus, but it's like, when it's time for me to come back, I have to get uncomfortable. I don't want to be too heavy out here trying to work out and rehab on his knee. Like, no, I got to cut things out of my diet daily.
Yeah.
I got to drink more water. It's just little things like that. It's always making a plan for yourself and preparing yourself to be the best version of you. One step at a time. Like Jenna said, every day or once a week, take something out of your diet and just keep moving forward with that. It ain't going to be easy, but it'll be worth it.
It's like, that's why people say, like, nothing feels better than skinny. And I hate saying that, because there's different versions of skinny for everybody. But there's something about being comfortable in your skin and being able to wear a sports bra or no shirt, or walk around in a bathing suit, or, something small where if you're the person that has to wear a shirt when you go into the pool, not being able to wear one. Like being able to take that shit off, like that's gotta feel good.
Yeah.
To know like, hey, I did this. And somebody told me a long time ago and it stuck with me is your body is the only thing that you can make it look however you want it to
And
look.
that's very true.
It's the only thing that you can have control over. So if you are somebody that's suffering with control issues and you feel like your life is just, you can't control your work, you can't control your kids, your relationship, whatever it's not, the gym is where you can control everything you fucking want. You are
mentally, physically, emotionally,
everything.
Spiritually, everything.
And take that time.
Yep.
You know, we're in there right now for almost 2 hours at this point. And some people would say, okay, you don't need that long. And sometimes you don't. 30 minutes, take that time to go in and get on the treadmill or whatever, or do some yoga or whatever it is. It could be just 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you want certain results, then you're going to have to put in time. You know, Olympians aren't Olympians because they woke up one morning and was like, well, I guess I can run track.
Yeah, I think I can.
I think I can bobsled.
Yeah.
No, they trained and trained and trained. And some people probably didn't even think that they were going to be in the Olympics, but they just decided, like, do you know anybody that wasn't going to be in the Olympics or wasn't athletic or whatnot and got somewhere where it was like, that's fucking amazing.
And I know a guy who was in the Olympics as well, local dude. But it's like me when I go get ready to go back to training camp, I'm in the gym 3-4 hours max a day.
Yeah.
Or even every other day, but it's because that's what I got to do to get ready. I don't want to be in there for 3 or 4 fucking hours working out, doing cardio, shooting shots, going to the sauna, hurting my body, you know, and all that stuff. But I don't want to do it. But it's like I have to do it in order for me to be comfortable
and good at what you do,
and to be good at what I do. Exactly.
It's an art. You know what I mean?
It definitely is.
Not to mention, it's like, you know, you go in there and it's like you just have to give it all you got for a period of time, and that hurt is only temporary.
Very true.
And the results outweigh it a lot. It's a lot easier to lose 10 pounds than it is to lose 100. Yeah. So if you let yourself, you know, if you're sitting there right now listening to us and you're like, yo, I used to play sports, or I used to be hella active, or I used to go on walks, make it a family thing. Like, it's up to you to lead the way, right? So if you have kids or whatever,
lead by example, pay it forward.
Fuck yeah, eat dinner and then go for a walk after dinner. It's the little tiny things. Park hella far away from the store when you go shopping.
On purpose.
You know, it's things like that.
Yeah, and it's one thing that I preach to kids and even some young adults is that you never know who's watching you.
No.
You never know who's watching you. You can be giving somebody so much motivation about what you're doing every day, you know. You can be doing something on Instagram. You can have 3 or 4 people on Instagram like, yo, I want to be like this guy. But if they see you up there playing video games all day and you're like not motivating at all, it's just like, man. But if they see you in the gym, like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Right.
That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be in shape at mentally, is being able to get up and go do what I want to do. Just have some type of motivation. You just keep going forward. That's how you pay it forward, because you never know who's watching you.
I ain't never met somebody that was like, I hate inspirational stories.
You
like,
never know who's watching you.
Come
honestly.
On. I watch shit every day. When we went to that sports award event.
Yeah.
My God. But like, I was almost in tears with some of their stories, because you think, you know, you have this idea about these athletes. And I think about it all the time. Like, I played sports my whole life, but I look at someone like Will and I'm like, how does your body do it? I'll be in the gym doing weights and cardio for a couple hours and I'm broken when I leave. You know what I mean? I'm out. Like, how do people really put their bodies through this every day? Sometimes he plays 2 games a day.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And then have a 2-hour bus ride, and then have to wake up 6-7 hours after
and
that
play all over again.
Another game.
When you're sore. You're sore from the day before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to put your body through so much. But we heard people with MS. A girl with MS that was young, and they pretty much told her, like, your sports days are over with. And she was like, hell nah. And she ended up winning an award that night. Fucking came in, like, what? She was like first in like the state or something like that, or something crazy.
She has some high rankings.
Remember her name.
She has some high rankings, but she was definitely one of those stories where you'd be like, damn.
Like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And you always need those stories to continue going on. Me doing this podcast shit, like, I need motivation every day. And it's like, honestly, it's messages that I get from people saying, hey, thank you for talking about that. Like, this is why I listen to you, or this is why I follow you. Like, fuck the radio. I don't need it. I just needed you. And that makes me feel like, holy shit, like, this could actually be something. You know what I mean? That's what gets me going. So, like Will said, you never know who's fucking watching you.
Don't be scared to get motivated either. Everybody can use a little bit of inspiration.
And be kind to yourself.
Definitely be kind to yourself.
Like, I'm preaching to the choir right now, but you got to know when to also take a day off if you need to. But once that day off comes 2 days off and 3 days off, then you need to fucking get your shit together.
It makes it harder to get back in the gym.
Hell
Or whatever you want to do. Like, it doesn't always have to come down to the gym. Let's say you is inspiring a writer or something like that, an artist. Take a day off and then get right back to your craft. I mean, you got to get uncomfortable because this is what you want to do, and you never know who you're motivating by the things that you're doing. So it doesn't have to be always fitness, but mental fitness is the best way to go. So
yeah. One of my best friends, he always says that, you know, people, especially men, are kind of like dogs in the relation of you have to run a dog for them to get their energy out, for them to be the best dog that they can be to you, right? Because if you have, it's like a kid, if you just keep them up inside the whole time and you don't let them run out that energy, they're not going to listen, they're going to act up, they're not going to do what they need to do to be the best that they can be. So, you know, sometimes you really need to, you just got to get active some way, somehow. It doesn't need to be running laps, running miles. Just go outside, like get some fresh air, maybe do a couple push-ups every night, maybe some sit-ups, start small, get bigger. I have a lot of workout things on like my page on Instagram at JLDay87. You know, I have a couple things. All my workouts are workouts not in the gym. There's maybe like one that I have on there, but like, a lot of them are just at home. He has
a whole fitness page, which is Bull Body Project on Instagram and on Facebook, and that's even the website. Everything is Bull Body Project. So if you guys want to check it out, go ahead.
Yeah, follow his page too.
If you guys need some advice, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk to people. And hey, just get uncomfortable. That's it.
Facts.
That's just get uncomfortable. Plain and simple.
Soon, hopefully, summertime, we'll get some classes going on, and it's community classes. So you can bring your kids, you can bring your families, your friends, and you just work out together.
That's it. It's a big group. Like once you guys get on Instagram and you guys follow the Bull Body Project page, just scroll and you'll see how I get down when it comes to fitness and motivating people to be better versions of themselves. It's already going out in Delaware right now. We run Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 or 7 p.m. Depending on the time this summer. But trying to do the same thing here up in the Seattle area. But that's what it's about. It's about motivating others and paying it forward. And we always have fun. My group workouts be lit.
Litty like a titty.
Yeah.
The videos now for the podcast are up now on YouTube as well. So on YouTube. And it's JLDay87 is my channel. And there's so much other stuff I want to get into with you.
We should save some.
I know.
Save some.
We will.
Because we got some stories for y'all.
Stories and shows. Which we gotta watch one right now, The Outsider.
Oh yeah, we gotta watch that.
If you haven't seen The Outsider, it's a good ass show.
Yes,
it's suspenseful, a little bit of a thriller, right? HBO. It's a little slow sometimes, but it's fucking good.
It's definitely worth it.
Hell yeah. So subscribe, follow, like, share.
Yeah.
Remember, if you need any advice, you can always hit me up on the DM as well at JAllDay87. And where can they find you?
Yep, you can like, you can follow, you subscribe. You can hit us up on YouTube. And yeah, peace.
All right.
Oh, you want me to drop my what's her name?
Yeah.
All right, it's at JLDay87. Find me through her page. You feel me?
I hate you so much. All right, peace. Bye. That was good, babe.
It was. Real good.